actually, though.
This game has so much style.
It really
But
does.
I just realized his hair, he has like hair and then he has like the chains and like a shuriken in the chains, but it's not attached to his hair. It's like extra hair, like DLC hair.
He gave his hairstylist an extra $5.99. He was like, "Yo, hook me up with the good stuff. Give me the top tier looks."
Yep. Give me the deceiving hurt box. It's not actually hurt box, but you think it is. It goes into Z-axis, and that's why. Look at that.
Like actually though, like we've been constantly bringing up the art aesthetic of ARMS, but this character's design as a whole is just like, it is wild. Between the chain link glasses, the like headphone thing that also connects into his
whatever.
yeah, his like shuriken styled hair. Like I don't even
What's
know.
on his neck? You see like that thing? It's like a symbol. It looks like.
Oh no, yeah.
It looks like a frog that's eating like a bone. I don't know why a frog has 2 teeth eating a bone, but you know, I didn't design this game.
Yeah, it's some weird character choice as far as designs go, but it's very dynamic.
Even his scarf has some weird stuff going. Oh, we're getting right into the next match.
Yeah, speaking of dynamic, we've got.
Oh, is this losers finals?
I'm not particularly too certain, but all I know right now is we've got NuzzleMaster returning with his Ninjara versus one of the Min players, and it's Johnny Squid.
Oh, it's supposed to be losers semis then. Yeah, Johnny Squid versus NuzzleMaster. So we got. Now, the thing is, last game we saw NuzzleMaster fighting a really defensive player. Now, Johnny Squid's a really offensive player. So we have to see. He has to switch up his style fast.
And he's staying with the buffs. He just wants to keep this neutral approach and play things at max distance. And it seems that even playing at max distance allows him to challenge the chakra. Like, these Rams just aren't offering any type of support to Johnny Squid. He's going to have to figure out how to, first and foremost, land the first hit, and he's going to do so through this rush. Now, can he maintain this pressure is the real question.
Now, it's worth noting that I thought the fists that NuzzleMaster were using were electricity, and I think they were in like the demo I played, but it looks like these ones are just neutral. There's no like element attached to it when he gets the charge hits. You notice?
Yeah, they seem to be of a neutral variety, and because of that, maybe there's more damage attributed to them because there's no status effect.
Maybe that's why it's so easy for him to break arms when he punches them, because they're neutral. That'd be a question I need answered, but I don't have any handbook in front of me, so rip that.
Yo. Rip the support, but it's all right. We're learning as we go here.
Now, yeah, you're definitely seeing. I mean, last game was very close. I think either player can take it. Whoever gets like, ooh, okay. I was about to say we got a couple reads of punishes, and that's a read and a punish right there that Johnny Squid definitely wanted. Ooh, the hard knockdowns once again. Oh, use the air dash invisibility. You get another hit in.
You know, just as I was alluding to, Johnny Squid needed the one good opening in order to really maintain presence on this field, and even though his offenses had just been stopped, look at these percentages. We're looking at a dead even track, and Johnny Squid was able to build up so much pressure.
Ooh, yep, nice dodges, and they both basically burned their meter, but since Johnny Squid burned it a lot later, NuzzleMaster's going to have it for later this round, or next game if he wants to be a little bit greedy with it, which might not be a bad choice, to be honest. We're going to see how this game goes, of course, but he seems to be having a pretty decent lead. Oh, and that should be it.
Yep, break the arm, go right in for the super, and here we go. We managed to get ourselves the tie.
Now, I respect that choice to just burn super for a guaranteed kill as opposed to getting like a grab and trying to like win the game with like another hit or two, because it's a really close game. If you feel confident just out-neutraling your opponent, building up another meter, then you go for it.
We're getting ourselves into match 3 right now, and NuzzleMaster just trying to stay as evasive as he can, not let Johnny Squid get into that solid hit, because once he manages to nick through these defenses, he just sticks on.
Now, what I want to say actually from NuzzleMaster is more punishing the wake up with grab, because I've noticed that Johnny Squid is constantly doing like tech roll forward as a wake up, and NuzzleMaster is trying to punch it and missing the punch timing, so maybe the grab will work out better for that.
In general, I feel like grabs are going to be a better approach to this, just because we know that Johnny Squid is going to be a more aggro-oriented character, but we're at least going to see a small opening gotten with the super, and it's going to be leaving Min at nearly half health.
Nice little chip with the punch. Oh, it looks like Johnny Squid's trying to punch the arms as he's dashing as well. But you know, look how Johnny Squid maneuvered himself aggressively against NuzzleMaster. NuzzleMaster retreated in response and is now cornered. And that's actually, you can't really get cornered like this. I mean, now Giant Squid has the arm charge. He has all this going for him. You know, he has a knockdown. He has everything he wants, and those are almost broken arms.
Yeah, this is looking like a rough scene right now for NuzzleMaster, but he still has the opportunity to bust through. He's got 20 seconds left on the clock, and Johnny Squid just keeping this pressure on. He doesn't want to give NuzzleMaster the opportunity to get the comeback.
Now, I think NuzzleMaster is getting a bit predictable with his dashes to the left, and you can definitely see Johnny Squid calls out that dash to the left.
Yup. Starting to read those movements. We're going to have to see a bit more. So now that is
Johnny Squid.
Yep. That's the first game in favor of Johnny Squid.
Yeah, you know, you definitely see Johnny Squid is reading. NuzzleMaster needs to get some mix-ups going.
We see the change to Sky Arena. All right. Now, judging on the way that the players were moving around each other, and you had brought this up, that the fact that it's just very circular, moving around to the left constantly, I feel the fact that this stage is more oriented towards controlling the center is going to play a big factor into who's going to be able to hold that momentum well. Also, the stage itself, it's going to be a bit more difficult for NuzzleMaster to maneuver himself, because I don't know if his little flash step is going to allow him to step upwards, or if he's just going to bonk into the wall.
I would imagine he just bonks into the wall. The flash step doesn't move him upwards at all. Well, you see him, he's trying to jump on stage, but no, Johnny Squid says, "Get off my hill. I'm the king here. You are the peasant. Go back to work in those sides." Now he keeps trying to jump on, just getting bodied for it. And this is a difficulty on being in that lower elevation. He pushes back up now, but he took so much damage trying to get up here. He needs to make it up. And with both players having super on deck now, I mean, I guess he gets damage, but now he doesn't have to throw his super, and he's still behind in damage or health.
Yeah, he's sitting a bit far behind, and with Johnny Squid having his available resources, he just needs to get his charged arm up, and this could be a done match. We see the super break, but NuzzleMaster.
Oh no!
Fantastic job, able to teleport his way through that, and basically forcing Johnny Squid to waste his meter.
Yep, Johnny Squid calling out the jump though. Really good call. He needs one more of those to end this game. And there we go. He called the jump just as it started. And you really see, you know, whenever I feel like NuzzleMaster jumps into the air, you really see Johnny Squid is ready for those jumps. Oh, he switches the arms now. He's going for a new style. I think he can combo off a charge hit into a grab with these arms.
We're seeing him immediately use the meter with them, and the Hydras just cover such a wide space.
Yep. You know, it's definitely good for punishing rolls. I think it does lose. I would imagine it loses to the Rams though. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they don't have much power.
NuzzleMaster is going to have to mitigate that lack of power with that oppressive speed that we saw from him earlier. However, it doesn't look like Johnny Squid is giving him much of an opportunity to do so. Matching this raw aggression with NuzzleMaster's style has been very difficult for NuzzleMaster to get around.
Oh, punches right through the grab. Gets a big punish off that. Now, I don't think I like the meter burn only because he's so far behind that if he loses this game after losing that meter, that's a big deficit he could have just prevented. But, you know, we'll see. Arms about to break. Yeah, and as you see, the Ram is punching through the Hydras right there, yeah. So, this forces NuzzleMaster to kind of find those little openings, swerve around a lot, but you just see the giant range on these Rams coming through. And he gets a nice clip there, but this looks like a struggle.
Yeah, both of these players sort of still figuring out how they can move around safely, because right now, even when one of them manages to win out in neutral, they're both taking lots of damage that can be avoided.
But what would be interesting to see would be NuzzleMaster switching to his chalk arms and having basically the same arms fight each other. I obviously didn't do it, but it would be interesting. Uh-oh.
It has its uses. However, we see the rush from the Hydras manage to break even, and now look at the percentage on board. Minmin seated at almost 25% of her health. Meanwhile, Ninjara not really too worried about the situation at maybe about 60%.
Yeah, he's jumping, and you can definitely see the switch to these, the Hydras, as you call them, is paying off in spades right now. He's able to land these supers much better. He's able to put a lot more pressure on. And even though he's losing, like, in the direct, like, arm trades, he's definitely able to get these hits in easier than with the fists.
Right.
They both bring super, and now this is basically a last hit scenario with Midman having the positional advantage, the initiative. Oh, but, and there we go, clips the dash to the left again. He kept clipping that dash to the left.
It's that repetitive movement that Johnny Squid was able to pick up on, and an incredible